morning, everyone. It's Michelle with Pampered Chef. Hey, this morning I noticed my candy dish is empty. So before I go running my last minute Christmas errands, I am gonna whip together one of my favorite treats for Christmas. Really, it's good any time of year if you like peppermint, but Christmas time is great. It is peppermint bark. Very simple, easy. Gosh, had I known it was this easy when I was growing up, I would have been making it for many, many years. But I didn't know. So now I do. And using some of my Pampered Chef tools, of course, this is going to make it even easier to make this bark. Start with some bags of chocolate meltables. I picked them up at Joann's when they were on sale. You can find them at typically any craft store. You can buy the chunks at the grocery store, but I like these because they're smaller pieces and they melt really well. It's a smoother consistency that I enjoy. So they're just little wafers. I hope you can see this. We're trying a little further back with the camera today so you can all see what I'm doing. So they're just little wafers. I'm using I believe this is the 2-quart plastic mixing bowl. These bowls are great. They've replaced the OXO or whatever brand that I had before. So to start with, you just put them in the bowl. It basically filled the bowl. We're going to microwave this in increments. I do it for like 2 minutes now that I'm doing a whole bowl. 2 minutes in the microwave. You stir it, wait till it cools down a bit, put it back in, and then you do that in increments of 30 seconds. You don't want to burn or cook the chocolate. You just want it to melt, and then we'll go from there. So as I'm putting this in the microwave, I am going to grab, my peppermint extract. This is a 3-ingredient treat that, like I said, it's so easy to make. You have your chocolate, your meltables, you have vanilla extract, and candy kings. So while this is going for the first 3 minutes, I am going to line my cookie sheet. And this is one of our Pampered Chef cookie sheets. I just use wax paper. It's just going to go in the refrigerator. So really any pan you have, it doesn't have to have size or anything. It's going to be a pretty solid piece, even when we melt the chocolate. And then you're just going to set it in the refrigerator. And when you take it out, you just break it up. So I lined my cookie sheet. We're going to use our mix and chop, which this is so great, to chop up the candy canes. Now I've already unwrapped all these because that was just a daunting task no one wants to see. And I just break them up. I've done it a few different ways, but I found that putting them in the base of the hand chopper, I think I called it the mix and chop. It is a hand chopper, food chopper. Put it in the base, and then it doesn't even matter if it doesn't fit perfectly. You just chop away. Quick and easy. I said I was going to do this about 2 weeks ago, I think. I was having a horrible week at work, and I needed to relieve some stress. And this is a great stress reliever. So you just chop it up to a consistency that you feel comfortable with. If you want bigger chunks, that's fine. What we're going to do is mix the candy cane into the meltable chocolates. And then you can always top it as well, but we'll get to that. So these up. No, it didn't very well. Now you know how hard a candy cane is, right? So for this to chop with very little effort, it's great. I used to chop these by putting them in a Ziploc bag and using a rolling pin and just banging on it. But really that made such a mess. The bag from the shards of the candy cane, it would get holes in it. So I'd have candy cane everywhere. So this really, using it with the food chopper, with the base, it contains it. I do have one of my flexible mats on the counter to pick up anything that may fly out because it's not on there solidly. But I mean, look how easy that is. Yeah, it takes a few because you can't put a whole lot in there. And I could just do it on the mat itself, but this is so much easier because it keeps it all in the lid, or in the base. And if you don't have or haven't seen our food chopper, it is one of the most popular items Pampered Chef, I think, has ever had. When you press down on it, the blades turn every single time. So you can see the blades, and every time you push, they turn a little bit. So when you're constantly pushing, it's chopping in different directions. So this is not a tool that you would use to, say, dice, if you wanted nicely diced green peppers or tomatoes. It's not for that. This is great for onions. I definitely have used this to chop onions because who likes to cut onions? Now obviously I'm using a little bit more force than I would with an onion because obviously an onion is a little bit softer food. Candy canes are hard. So I am using a little bit of force here. But it's working out great. And I heard my microwave go. So we're going to use, I'm using this spatula. It's a holiday spatula. It's currently in the outlet. So check out my website if you're interested in the older spatula. This spread cheer holiday spatula, this came out last year and it is available again this year. So right now, I believe this is still in the outlet. This is still available for regular purchase through December 31st. So only through the end of the year. And all of our holiday products will go back to the vault and we'll get ready for the new year. So let me mix this up a bit and show you. That was 3 minutes and they have already started melting. So this is why the 30 seconds from here on out is very important that you don't put it in there any longer. And just stir it up to get as many of the pieces that are in there all broken down. We don't want any lumps. We want to make sure everything is melted. And this time I used some just plain vanilla, and then I used a confetti just to give it a little more, festive touch, I guess. You're gonna mix that up. And this bowl was a perfect size. You know, it looked like a lot when I first put them in there, but that's because they were whole pieces. So this 2-quart is great for this recipe. So we're gonna throw it back in the microwave. 30 seconds to finish up with our candy canes. And I am using a whole box of candy canes. So it's just 12 candy canes I got from Walmart. So I would like to know, as you're watching this, what everyone is doing the Saturday before Christmas. I've got a few days off into next week after Christmas, and I'm just going to try to relax for a few days. The end of the year is always hectic for me at my 9-to-5 job, so I'm going to spend some time watching some holiday movies. The Sound of Music. Apparently I missed that when it was on TV. So I will be pulling out my DVD or seeing if I can find it on the Roku channel. And Oscar and I will be watching The Sound of Music. But let me know what you're doing this weekend. I would love to hear. I love hearing what everyone enjoys. If you have a favorite, a tradition, something you do Christmas Eve even. I'm not near my family, and I really do miss a lot of our traditions that we had. But I'm not going to talk about that because I'm going to cry. So, that was another 30 seconds. And it says you're supposed to do this for like, 3 more minutes. Honestly, as long as it is melted and smooth consistency, there's no chunks in there, I might do it for another 30 seconds, but that'll probably be it. So maybe this will take 10 minutes altogether, plus the time to set in the refrigerator, which, that's probably at least an hour or 2. It really is an easy thing to make. And like I said, had I known when I was, 10, 12 years old, baking and, making cookies and all kinds of stuff when I was little, I would have been making this forever. Oh my gosh, I love it. We used to go to craft shows on the weekends during the holiday. That's one thing about Bay City. I'm from Bay City, Michigan, if you don't know. Back in Bay City, craft shows were great. They're such talented people. And that is part of why I started crafting. I love all different kinds of things. Sometimes it's country. Sometimes it's something crazy and bright, but I don't always like to spend the money for someone else to make something that I know that I could do. So the past couple of years I've been dabbling in crafts, and I've really enjoyed it. It has helped me actually through a lot of things the past couple of years. So it was great. I think I started just after COVID or around COVID, when I was going through some health issues, a big health scare. So it was a good therapy, I guess. So next we are going to add, this one I'm going to wing. I'm going to add a ½ teaspoon of my extract. And I'm using our, some days my mind goes blank. Measuring spoons. Our measuring spoon set. I love these. There are so many different measurements, which I've mentioned before, but it is great because there's so many options. You don't have to use 5 of them to get what you need. So we're going to add this. And this is just peppermint extract. That gives it the flavor it needs. Because the candy canes alone do not do it. So we're going to just mix that in. Ooh, I can smell that. I don't know what it is about peppermint. I'll eat candy canes. I just bought some more yesterday at Walmart just to have. They're actually really good to soothe an upset stomach. So keep that in mind. All right, so that's mixed in there pretty well. And I can smell it a lot. So then I'm just going to take my crushed candy cane and sprinkle that in. I'm going to save a little because I want to add it to the top. So we have that. We're going to mix that all together. And let me tell you, these spatulas are not flimsy. They are a very sturdy spatula. And they can mix this chocolate, and you know, I use them to mix cookie dough. So they're not a flimsy, cheap Dollar Tree item that you're going to use for 2 days and throw out. So after you have all that mixed up together, just how you want it, I'm going to add this to our wax paper on our cookie sheet. And this is why it doesn't matter, which now it's probably going to make a mess. But, you're going to break this up. At least that's how I do it. So it doesn't matter what it looks like on here. I just spread it. And you have to kind of hold the wax paper down because it's just being held down by the weight of the